So it's what it is, I don't know, 4 p.m. at the place where I am. And I'm glad to welcome you all, everybody, to the next masterclass. In fact, September masterclass, even though it's October 3rd, but it's a September masterclass with Boris Gelfand done for World Chess platform. So just a service announcement. This time it's my fault that we are doing September masterclass in October. Shame on me, I was involved in a chess tournament. And yeah, without any further discussions, let's go on. Let's listen to Boris and let's progress with our masterclass today.
Hi, Evgeny. Hi, everyone. First of all, Evgeny, it was a pleasure to see you playing chess.
It wasn't a lot of chess, to be honest. I mean, made a lot of quick draws, but there is one game that I'm not ashamed of.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start. And during our two previous master classes, we were taking care about, we were discussing different exchange sacrifices. Today we go a bit further and we'll look at some of the games where there were more than one exchange sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we start with game against Tetraleko. We played it, and it was rapid chess. Just a second.
Oops.
So, for many years, Tetraleko had played the match in Hungary, normally rapid chess match against some of the top players. And 2010, I was invited, and we played rapid chess match in Nishkolets. And actually, 6 out of 8 games, we had Semislav on the board with both colors. Strangely enough, for many years after this match, this opening almost disappeared from top level practice. I don't know why, but let's look at the game. This game I was white. It was game 5. Knight c3 I played. e6, bishop g4, and sacked the pawn. That's what happened then, I think. This happened, I think, in 5 out of 6 games in the match. 4 times I did it and 1 time Stefan. Before. This is the main position of this opening. White sacked a pawn, and it seems that black are doing okay. They kept the strong pawn on c4. But in fact, g5, it's in this position, it's quite a serious weakening of black's position. Too often nowadays, engines play g5 or g4 without much hesitation. But in some position like here, it was clearly preferable for black to have pawn on g7. I played bishop e2, played bishop e7, and now this is the point. I play h4, g4, main move, and knight e5. And now, of course, black can play h5, but it's waste of time. A lot of games were played hard to judge if it's good for black or not, but normally people nowadays play something more dynamic, knight b7, like I played a few times, or rook j8, like Peter played. Giving back a pawn. I took with a bishop this time, and he played knight b7. It's again back, and the bishop on g4 is hanging. Now it's an important trick. If I play bishop g3, maybe we give a minute for our viewers to suggest a move for black.
We could think why, in fact, Semislav is no longer played.
Why?
I mean, because I don't know. It's just that
Maybe too much serious. It's my version.
that's the feeling. So now, most of the time, what Black wants, it's either you go for something really crazy or we don't have a game. I mean, that's the feeling. Like on the very top level, very often here, like especially in this Moscow Gambit, anti-Moscow Gambit, you have a lot of lines where I think like you can play, not study everything, right? Or try to study everything. I remember my mere attempts to looking at this line with computers like in 2000, I think around 2010, then around 2014, and okay, a couple of years ago. And even computer is not very helpful, right? Because it's endless possibilities.
Yes,
Endless
yes,
possibilities.
yes. But possibilities for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is no clear answer why they don't play it, because maybe they don't like a lot of possibilities, they like less possibilities. Can this be?
Yes. But it's a matter of maybe of patience, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a suggestion from Aradia, who is by far our most active participant, to sacrifice the rook on g3. Or an exchange on g3, right?
Absolutely. Now
Also,
white has to take because no
beautiful point. Yeah, rook f3. Rook f3. Yeah, it's really nice.
And fg, we take. I think we can even trade queens and play knight d7. And with knight on e5, black will be definitely stronger side. Knight on c3 is very poor.
I think, okay, maybe I'm confusing this, but I think it's actually quite important to trade on d1 because I mean, not sure, because I remember.
In some position it is, but here it's just the simplest, definitely the simplest, yeah. So that's why I took on d7. He took with the queen and I played bishop f3. And this position were played quite a few times. Here sometimes certain circumstances black took on g3, but it was not always fair. I remember Levon Aronian lost a game to Alexander Grishuk. He took, it seemed tempting, but in fact it was nothing. But Peter Leko, I think it was a novelty in one of the first rounds, he played c5.
Mm-hmm.
I played e5. He played knight d5, knight e4, and he castle and knight castle. Let's think what black can do here. Another quest, what one will do with black, because position kind of became even more unclear. We put knight on e4, can sometimes penetrate to d6 or f6, and c5 is hanging. From other point of view, knight on d5 is really excellently placed.
Okay, so CD4 is one thing that
CD4 is a natural move.
Yes. If not CD4, some, I don't know, knight, moving the knight, but then I'm blundering knight f6. Okay, so that's not good. I thought knight b4, but yeah, but knight f6 is the problem.
No, actually, it's not that simple. Not that simple. Because knight b4, knight f6, there is this nice trick.
There is rook g3. Okay, this is very easy.
Bishop f3.
This is very easy to miss. Yeah.
Yeah, very easy to miss. And if queen b7 takes and takes, and really tricky position. But we'll let's deal with the candidates and we'll get back to knight b4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, knight e3 was mentioned, like knight e3, pawn takes, take on e4, take on g3.
Absolutely.
Okay, at least has to be taken in consideration, yeah.
Yes, it's clearly one of the candidates.
Mm-hmm. How crazy would be to go like f5 takes, knight b. No, but no, it's not.
No, too
Not
much.
very serious.
Maybe knight c5 simply.
Yeah, it's not very serious. Take on g3 immediately for whatever reason, and then if the knight takes, then I don't know, then maybe we play knight f4 or something.
Yeah, also a candidate. Okay, so we saw all candidates. Let's deal with them one by one. Yeah. Bishop e7 is a natural move, but a4 may be unpleasant. That's one of the white's main ideas, to weaken a king. a6 is tricky because we get a line, and if b4 queen e2, c4 pawn becomes vulnerable. Yeah, rook fc1. So bishop. Knight b4. Actually, it's a fun idea. I missed during the game. I didn't look at it. I thought knight f6 it's working, but rook g3 actually, as I just showed, leads unclearly. But Engine found a fantastic solution, actually an only one for white to get an advantage.
After knight b4.
Yeah, it's this paradoxical move d5.
d5.
So if pawn or bishop takes and knight f6 will be strong. And if knight takes, we simply play queen e2, and then we play a4 and we get initial. We kind of take away the counterplay, but a4 and then we have full compensation, yeah? It's paradoxical. I was really surprised to see it, yeah?
Yeah, like d5 and how many attacks? Yeah, like 4 at the very least. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know, I think we had a masterclass on it, or not yet? Not yet, yeah. Maybe
breakthrough in the strongest point, no?
Something like maybe it's one of the next of our master classes we have to do it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of examples. Like
lot of examples, and it's a great book of Igor Zaitsev. I think it was in Russian, but now I think it was translated into English as well, and really important strategical tool. This breakthrough in a strong point. Because of ed knight f6 already rook g3 doesn't work, f3 bishop is protected. Okay. So next idea is knight e3, but then I simply take, and here I think the best move is queen e1. We both protect, we kick a rook, and then we play rook d1 or even a4. I think bishop on e4 is very dangerous. Yeah, king becomes really pleasant target. Also, rook on f line it's much more active than rook on g line. Rook on g line g2 it's not easy to attack, while rook on f1 attacks the f7 pawn.
Yeah, rook g7 is suggested. One of the things after rook g7 that d5 is strangely a move.
Maybe we can play d5, yeah.
Like
but
d5. Yeah, but my point is like d5. I'm not even threatening to go d6 or something. I just want it blocked for the time being, and I don't see how black unpins. Okay, if you spend the tempo on queen c7, of course I go d6, right?
But
otherwise,
also
okay.
we may go d6. d6 is also a good move, but also maybe a4 is a deadly threat.
Yeah, a4 is a huge threat. I mean, some queen a5s somewhere.
a5, yeah. No, and white didn't sacrifice even a pawn here.
Yeah, it's material equal. It's black's bishop on f8. If you ask about the king, it's clear that white king is safer for the time being.
Yeah. But even here, even a4 immediately may be strong. Yeah? d5 is a great move. cd, ab, and okay, king is getting weaker and weaker. Of course, d5 is a classical move, yeah? We take away all counterplay, a4 will be the next move.
Yeah, it's kind of more about this f8 bishop that's what I was worried about.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
because
yes,
even in your line, some bishop c5 is possible. And
who knows, yeah?
yeah,
But d5 is a very
d5 and intending a4, and probably it's just bad.
Black are basically on the verge of collapse here, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so but actually Peter Lep, I think it was his preparation. He prepared this idea, rook g3. First exchange sacrifice in the game. I took this knight, the knight f4. It's true. He didn't even get a pawn for an exchange for a moment, but his pieces are becoming very strong. Yeah? The knight on g3 is a bit out of play. Yeah? Okay, d4 is hanging, so sorry, a4, he can even play b4, so I took. He played queen c7. I took. I thought I traded an exchange and the pawn up.
In an endgame, yes.
In an endgame, and I believed that I'm doing okay. But please think what you'll do here, this black. Please think, because here it's an interesting moment.
Again, I have difficulties calculating lines. I know what I would like to do, but
what you would like to do?
I would like to play some sort of rook d2 or something, because bishop c5 is very tempting, but then he goes rook d1.
No, b4. After rook d2?
After rook d2, yeah, it is. That's exactly like I wasn't sure if it works. I mean, after bishop c5, rook d1 is what kind of annoys me. Maybe for no reason.
94.
94, yeah, 94 first. So we have to think a little bit more.
Yeah, but it's not end of the line. Yeah, it's possible to play, but
so we
possible moves. Not possible.
Probably ending up taking on c5, I feel like.
Some other suggestions from our viewers?
Radia says not saying the move, but the concept is to play against g3 knight. Yeah, fair enough, but but how to do it, right?
Yes.
Winning the e5 pawn somehow, like going after e5 pawn. Rook d5, who knows? Rook d5, rook e1 though.
No, b4 also.
B4, so that's kind of the main idea. No, probably should take. I'm afraid we should take on c5.
Yeah, there are a few moves. Let's say rook d2 allows b4 as well as rook d5. Yeah, but actually going after e5, it was really very strong. Okay, he took on c5, which is a very natural move, but bishop g7 was a very good idea.
Somehow not looking at this one at all. Yeah, going after e5 is.
Yeah, and if we play, let's say, rook d1, simply take and play bishop d5. And b2 is handy, knight d3. It's really full compensation. And knight on g3 is still cut, yeah? Maybe next move we can play f5.
Actually terrible, yeah. Absolutely right.
Maybe if you are very smart, we can never take, and put king on c7, yeah?
Yeah, if this works, then it's of course an improvement.
Seems like it's working, yeah?
Yeah.
One needs to have structured feeling, yeah, because it's easy to make natural move. But if you compare, then and black is maybe a stronger side. I can go here and trade, yeah. But here there is no doubt black is a stronger side, yeah. A pawn for an exchange, knight is on f4, all white pawns are weak.
Yeah, no risk whatsoever, right?
Yes, I don't say white is in trouble, but white has to be careful. Let's put it like this, yeah. But very difficult move to spot, especially in we have to say rapid chess game. And Peter played 2, I played knight e4, and now it was another interesting position because basically he can see strongly.
Winning the h5 pawn pretty much.
Okay, I can play a4, b4, and rook c1. Give up an exchange. And after some trades, will be more or less c3 takes d3. I will win this pawn. I'm a pawn up, but draw is extremely likely. Yeah? But not that simple to, because I don't doubt that white has something better. Yeah, if I'll play something slow, he'll take on e5, knight d3.
Yeah. I mean, I would be seriously very worried with white.
Yeah, so likely in a game I will take a practical decision, go to the same game. Okay, in rapid I will have some hope to put some pressure, but probably not against Petr Leko, yeah?
Yeah, not even clear how you put pressure. I mean, if you
Okay,
don't take,
I will take maybe king.
you take.
Take and maybe king g3, okay. All in all, I'm a pawn up, yeah? But you are right. It's hard to see how I can put pressure.
Yeah, like rook on c4 and
Rook c4, maybe a5, and next move rook c4, yeah? Rook c4 is the most natural. Likely it's very drawish, let's put it like this, yeah? But Petr found a really great idea. He played bishop d4. I played knight d6. And now if he'll go here, I think c3 is not working. And if he is, let's say, going here, then knight d6, and somehow he's not in time, strangely enough.
And then you just take on b2 and rook d1, somehow surround this b2 pawn.
Yes, exactly. So Petr invented second exchange sack.
Okay, I mean, here, let's be honest, it's kind of asking for itself, I want to say.
Yes. But what to do now? Please think what black can do now.
It's quite a lot of stuff, right?
A lot of stuff. And I apologize, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay, chat. Let's think what are the options. I mean, bishop b2, of course, is I mean, the move that I would strongly consider, let's put it this way. Alternatively, knight d3, something to think of. King to d7, yeah, but it might be somehow a little bit too slow, or maybe not. Once again, I'm not. What I'm somewhat worried about is that, like, we either king d7, some sort of b3. I mean, basically, white really cannot. At least that would be my logic. Like, black minor pieces are so dominant, knight on f4, bishop on d4. So if we compare now, like, I mean, one of the ways to approach the exchange sacrifice is that ask yourself, I mean, it's a little bit in a vacuum, but once again, like, is rook on a1 better than the knight on f4, right? Is rook on f1 better than the bishop on d4? And the answer is no, obviously, in this particular case. So what I'm trying to say that white will be looking for the way to give one exchange back for one of the pieces and then activate the other rook. And therefore, like, after king d7, I think b3, if it works tactically, which I'm not sure, obviously, or I don't know, even like rook c1, blunder, knight e2, that would be what I'd be looking for with white. So therefore, like, say, it's a big question after bishop b2, rook b1. Say c3, white takes on b2, and then another rook to b1, and then the king is coming. Maybe this doesn't really work.
So what are the ideas?
Okay, I think three moves that were kind of voiced through is king d7 to take it slowly, bishop takes b2 to just take the pawn, and I think I've mentioned knight d3 just because, you know.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. Let's go one by one. Knight d3 it's possible, but white ain't time.
Exactly, and then to take. Yes, and
And
that is what.
okay, it's a game for two results. I will not claim white are winning, but white is the only one who can win and maybe has realistic chances to do so.
Yeah, maybe it's quite possible, yeah, to lose this one with black. Agreed. So knight d3, yeah.
Bishop b2, it's a direct line. Rook d1, c3. Of course, you're right, I take. Knight d3, king f1, and now I'm coming close. But here, black has amazing way, which is extremely difficult to spot. It's very natural to stop calculating here. And king e2 and white gets a block.
Blah, blah, yeah.
But a5. Really amazing. I remember, I think after the game, Terence Berkish, who was commentator, showed it. I'm not sure if he was assisted with an engine or not, by an engine. The point is, if we play king e2, then we secure b4 square for a knight. This is the point.
Mm-hmm.
And now black out of it. Yeah? You'll take d6 pawn, rather white has to be careful.
Yeah.
And if white tries to block, then he is a bit short of time.
Yeah, a4, b4. This was.
And take, and with a rook on any other square, will win. But also after d7, I think it's important to play king d8.
Not to run into this check, yeah.
Because if we're here, then king c2, and white are winning because of the check.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to foresee it, yeah? Especially rapid game, I'm sure Peter saw it, and here he stopped his calculation, yeah?
Yeah, the knight is getting kicked. This is how you calculate. You don't even calculate move by move, I think. I mean, most of the time, like the knight is getting kicked. I'm losing the b2 pawn. Okay, I will look for something else.
Exactly. So king d7, he played a move, which seems great, but it has an amazing refutation. Okay, next move is natural, a4. Because if I play slowly, that's what Peter counted on, yeah? I'm too exchanged up, but he has full domination, yeah?
No, this is terrible.
Looks terrible, of course. Maybe white can save somehow, but it's clear that he has to look for salvation, yeah? Now. So I played a4, Peter played b4. And now, actually, there is old maxim, old joke, that if you have advantage of two bishops, the advantage is that you can trade one in a proper moment, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And here it's more or less the same. If you have an advantage of two exchanges, you can give up one in a proper moment. So I played rook ac1.
Mm-hmm. Rook ac1 for sure. It's interesting that it's for sure for Aradia, because I would actually strongly consider, at least. I mean, that's I don't know. That's maybe kind of the maximalist in me. I would also consider rook fc1. I mean, this famous question: which rook you put on the same square?
Yeah, but
I mean, obviously more lines. Yeah, more lines to consider, like the c3 and so on. But the benefit would be if one is there, right?
Yes.
Okay, c3 probably refutes it. If I take, then what? Then
now
you
you'll
give it check.
We'll get back to it.
Okay.
Because now if you make natural move, okay, we are still in time. Yeah, here we take and king f1, and we are back. Yeah, and if bishop b2, okay, we are in time to take this pawn and get
the rook behind. Yeah.
So c3. But the question is what to do now. Maybe think what to do now.
So if we take on c3,
Yes, you may take on c3.
how is it different
check.
from
And
king g? You want to take with the knight and then the b pawn.
And get total domination and then run with a king. d6, d5, c4, b pawn runs. It's possible, but think what else is.
Okay, b3 is on offer. b3, I wasn't sure like if we are better at all. Check, take on c1, king d6.
Yes, or even king d6 immediately.
Yeah, maybe you don't need to take the rook. Yeah.
Maybe I have a feeling that black can do it whenever he will wish. Yeah. Also, maybe some way it will be an idea to play king d6, d5, e5, and maneuver knight through e6 to c5 and take b3 pawn.
That's basically what I was telling the audience, Boris, while you were away for a minute, that very often in these positions, like, okay, philosophical question would be like, is the rook better than minor piece? And then, so that's one of the ways approaching the exchange sacrifice before like digging deep into lines. And then you're absolutely like highlighted it. Yeah, why do I need to take this c1 rook if my knight is not worse, right? I mean, why should be asking to trade the knight for the rook?
Because very often they say that, let's say, when you sacrifice an exchange, let's say in Sicilian, you take rook takes f6. So then white puts knight to f5, knight is not worse than a rook, yeah?
Yeah.
Or the opposite, when black takes on c3, yeah? What Kasparov called the matter of chess culture, yeah? To take on c3, ruin pawns bc and go on, yeah? And so here, actually here very often, I will be afraid, you know, that even rook or two rooks against bishop, let's say we take away, we give up knight for b pawn, and then put king on c4, b3, c2, the two rooks can be worse than even one piece, yeah? And the pawns,
yeah, okay, with a lot of pawns, yeah. Rook f to d1 as suggested by Aradi. For some reason, I didn't like it. I might be wrong though. Yeah, the line that is mentioned in the comments, which is c takes b2 and check on c7. This is, I don't want to say easy to understand, but I mean possible to.
Yes, but knight e2. What you do here?
Knight e2, king f1, right? Takes and then take on c3.
Yes, this intermediate. That's the point. That's the point. Because if you will take on c3, I will go here. Okay. Okay, maybe. Sorry.
This I think we discussed more or less, right?
Yes, actually, Ancient says white are still better if he finds this a5 move, but not that obvious. King runs to c4, not obvious at all to me. Why white are better? I will be very, how to say, worried to play it, yeah?
Yeah, from
but I was very happy to play rook d1 because there are basically two main lines. One line is here, and it's important to see the BC. And okay, it's a game for, as we say, for two results. Yeah, likely white will win. Will get king closer to a pawn, get rooks through G line, and black will have to defend all its weak spots. CD is a critical move also. But it's important this intermediate check. If king goes back, we can simply play rook b1. No compensation anymore, yeah? No risk, yeah? So king d6 and rook c4. But I think Ferenc Berkes, the same Ferenc Berkes, who was commentator of a match, indicated amazing defense for black. Knight d5. And king c5. What we were talking about, yes, that the pawns can be really strong, yeah?
But yeah,
If
but
you-
this is a hard one. Like I have to understand that rook d5, rook b1, for instance, I'm not in time, which is
yes, I think simply b3 takes
b3, king c4, b4, something.
Yeah. Then king c3, d4, we go this way.
Black
So
is
I think we have to go here, but knight c3. We have this idea rook c2. Luckily, king c4 and rook b1. But he plays b3.
Mhm.
And now it's okay, not that simple. Not that simple.
Rook b b2, right?
Rook b2 takes and a5.
And a5. Mhm.
And who knows, yeah, white is better, but who knows, yeah? Pawn is very advanced, yeah?
Probably, right. In order to try to play for a win, I will have to kind of sacrifice a4 and try to catch some stuff on the king side. Yeah,
h6, yeah, and try to be in time, but not that simple. But fortunately, as the same parents showed us, probably with the help of engine, we can take this way.
knight b1 and win the pawn ending, or
and win a pawn ending.
well,
Let's say if we get a king to h5, we win. Let's say b1 takes h4. So Ferenc try to block, but now we play f5 and we are quicker. But it requires really long calculation, yeah?
20 something moves.
Yes, maybe, you know, like all of us experienced it when someone who knows nothing about chess asks how many moves ahead can you calculate? And it's very difficult to explain that normally one doesn't need to calculate 3-5 moves ahead, yeah? But there are these lines where one really needs to calculate 20 plus moves ahead, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if we are, we still have intuition, let's say. So in this position, let's say you cannot see any further, but you believe, okay, white, at least white is not losing. He's the one having chances for a win, right?
Yeah.
But we can think of the position where you, let's say you can, your capacity, your capability is 15 moves deep, and you get some pawn endgame, and you think of it and you say, I might win, but I might also lose. And I don't know. I don't know. Either I have to calculate further on, or I have to stop and look for another move, because I might be losing in the final position.
Yeah. Because actually, I remember a story from when I was a junior player, and I analyzed a lot with my very good friend, Grandmaster Alexander Halekman, a great player, and we were looking at some book or at some magazine, and someone was annotating, it was annotated games, and someone claimed that white is slightly better in a pawn endgame. And Alexander made a very clear point. The pawn endgame cannot be slightly better. There are three possibilities. Either one side wins, either it's a draw, or we transpose to a queen endgame, which is likely result. And then queen endgame, that time it was no table basis here, but basically we can see if it's closer to a win or to a draw.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it was very hard to bet, especially, okay, it was rapid, probably he had like 5 minutes left, yeah? Or so. To rook d1 is really one of the moves I'm really proud of my career, yeah? To find in rapid game. And Peter tried to keep his pieces active, which is may seem a reasonable solution, but in fact, I can simply play king f1 now. That's the point. And next move, rook c2, rook b1, king e1, king b1. And basically, black pieces are beautifully placed, but it's hard to exchange this up, yeah?
Yeah,
And
it still
one day-
changes up. You found some files for your
Yes.
rooks. You also got rid of the weakness technically. B2 was always kind of a weakness.
Yes. And one day, when the rook will become active, the game will be over.
Mm.
Let's-
Sorry, can we go back just one move?
Sure.
When we were looking at this 92 or two moves, whatever it is, like check and takes on C1, B takes C3.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I was thinking, is B3 that bad for black? Because you are probably forced to take, right?
Let's check maybe if I can take rook d4 or
You can take on D4. You can, right? Yeah, A5 rook D2. This is the problem.
rook d2, yeah. And also knight a2, maybe rook d2 as well.
Knight A2, rook D2. Yeah, so this is.
And here, okay, there is 5 extra tempest compared to position we've been discussing. Yeah,
No, but this is. I don't want to play it. I mean, it's like it's probably lost, and even if it's not lost, right? I mean, it's not what black was looking for. I mean, it is lost. Okay.
Yeah, so probably from practical point of view, it's still better to close one size and run forward. Yeah. First of all, we can kind of unbalance our opponent because it's really, if you see this idea, yeah. Because again, it's easy to stop here. There are rook and exchange up, but if we spot this idea, maybe it's better to close one size and run here and hope to mess things up. Yeah. At least white will have to take, let's say, very tough decision here. Yeah. Because as you mentioned, pawn endgame, okay, one can easily get confused. Yeah. It's a race, you calculate, you know, you run out of time, you kind of not able to calculate it quickly, and you can simply take this B rook, and then it's a counterplay, yeah? Because here, actually, I didn't need to make my, I have to exit here also, rook d2, there's nice to include f4, yeah? We get rid of one more weakness of this 4 post on f4, and we win same way, bring it inside, yeah? But after he took, I played king f1, f6, rook c2, simply. Actually, if I'll, let's say, will black's move, and he'll play knight d5, maybe he'll be in time, maybe. But here, yeah, here king d5 again. If king d6, I'm in time to play f6. f4. F4.
F4, F6, you will take.
I will take play rook d3 already. King d1, rook gets through third line, yeah? Take, and rook d3.
Just wanted to say that ironically, you can play F4 one more time if you want.
Maybe it's okay. Yeah.
He's running out of F pawns to support his E5.
Yes. And also, you know, the pieces here will lose their balance here. So Peter played f6, I played rook c2, knight d5, and rook b1.
But this you can already see, yeah, you probably put the rook, I don't know, b3 and or just move the king d1.
I played king d1. Actually, you know, ancient laughs that this move seems counterintuitive, but we win immediately. Rook c3.
This we can take, and if he does, if
then
he
king
doesn't play,
c4 and they grab
king, yeah, just block it.
We totally block, and a5. But there is no need for it. I play king b1, king d6, and rook b3. I want to take on c3, so I force him to take. And now the problem is that I win either h6 pawn, either a5 pawn. So I'll have side pawn and passed pawn, which is impossible to keep. Yeah. Better try to create a counterplay. But rook b7. And if h4, I will play a5 already.
a6, yeah, h2 just.
And take on h2.
And you take on h2, yeah. So it works like.
Yeah, maybe it's not an only way, but it's a decent one, yeah? So Peter tried to kind of prevent this, but he is losing all other pawns, yeah? And here he resigned. I think it's a very rare game, yeah, when there had been 3 exchange sacrifices, yeah?
3 exchange sacrifices in the same game, yeah.
Yeah, but there is one with 4. There is one with 4, and just to show it, I didn't prepare it for our masterclass, but as I remember now, I will give me 2 minutes. I will find it now to show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I prepared another great examples. Yes.
So 4 means basically that I will have to sacrifice. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yes. Let's sum up our game and we'll have a look at this game. Okay?
Sure.
So here it's kind of what we discussed in previous master classes. One idea is to set, this is dynamic sacrifice to get activity of pieces, knight f4. And here we can say he went for another double sacrifice. Even we can say dynamic, but also positional, yeah, because you get control of all the main squares, yeah. Already main squares is controlled, and it could easily be that he'll be one tempo up, that it will be masterpiece from black side to exchange sacrifice and total domination.
No, but seriously, here, like if it's black to move, black is winning.
Oh, almost close to it, close to it. Yeah?
King d6, king, I don't know,
maybe
d5.
d2, maybe I can put some resistance, but of course I will not play a4 then, yeah? I will play something here, play rook d2. Black is pressing, yeah? It's very difficult to defend for white, yeah? But fortunately for white, I found this move, and also there is this very strong intermediate move which allows white to consolidate and send game to a technical phase. Okay, let's go to the next one. Maybe there are some questions, or we'll take questions at the end. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've more or less answered everything you relate to this game, right? Or we discussed. I mean, quite a lot of questions coming from me, I feel like.
Okay, go ahead. Or we'll do it at the end of the masterclass.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So this game, I was playing this tournament because between in Italy, in Israel, between Luke McShane, grandmaster from England, and Ilya Smirin from Israel. Knight f3-6, g3-d5. Okay, an opening. Let's skip it because this game I didn't analyze, so I will just show it because there were 4 exchange sets.
8-3 is interesting.
Started pretty in a simple way. Here I decided to avoid queen trade. I remember he was very happy with this decision. Bishop h3. And so far, it's symmetrical position. Probably black is a bit better, I would say, yeah? His king is safer, definitely safer. And also maybe psychologically, if you play with black, you have safe and solid position, you enjoy it more than you have it with white, yeah?
Yeah, interesting. Because I want to say, like, some 5 moves ago, I would probably pick white. So I don't know, maybe McShane kind of little misplayed
No,
it.
I think if I remember, even McShane offered the draw somewhere. But Ilya decided to play because also black developed all his pieces and no weaknesses. Yeah, so basically he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like white's better. I mean, if we are picking the side, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's true.
We are
I
picking
think white needs few more moves to play maybe queen to b2, to play knight d4, to trade knights, and to establish this Catalan pair of bishops, which attacks b7. But black,
so maybe he's not in time a little bit, yeah.
yes, this idea. Whenever bishop on g2 is traded, I don't see any way for white to even to pretend he is better. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, bishop is 6. H7. And now the fun started. Okay, position is more or less balanced, but as you may guess, by our topic, Ilya gave up one exchange.
Rook e3, okay. She takes back.
He played 95. He's a very strong dynamic player. Yeah, he feels initiative extremely well. So he felt here, especially after h3, g3, e3, white's king will be a bit vulnerable, so black will have a compensation. Look, took 94, maybe queen g5, yeah? And kind of e3 is hanging, g3 will hang soon, may hang soon. I think his idea was that he protected, that he kind of consolidated. Maybe, I don't know if he has an idea, maybe queen d2, yeah?
Something like this, yeah, queen d2. Queen d2 probably is, yeah, it's probably the move he wants to play.
But Ilya, he found maybe even 95, maybe an idea. Queen e4, king h2.
Yeah, Radi is asking, yeah, correct. Rook a to c1. The moment white plays rook a to c1, could we check knight e4? Is it an immediate?
You can simply take and go, no?
For some reason, the question was it an immediate draw? I don't see why it is.
I don't see why, yeah. It's changed down, yeah.
Like trade go queen f3, or how is it a draw?
Yeah, but also, okay, I can always go like queen b2. Then queen gets to g2.
Yeah, so probably it's.
No, Ilya found more tricky. Knight h5 brings pieces into attack. Now white has to play knight e2. And of course, Ilya doesn't trade. He plays rook e8. Rook d2. Check, check. And he brings another piece into attack.
Bishop h6.
H6 is a threat. So white played rook f1. Bishop h6. Rook c2. And queen d3.
Okay, looks like black is winning. Okay, threatens rook e2, queen g2.
Yeah? But black is better. Black is pressing, yeah? Went for counterplay. Queen.
We
Now,
really want to take, yeah?
Now, as we may guess by topic, Ilya gave up another action.
It's a check, king h1, queen h3. Yes. You can win one exchange back by going bishop e3, right?
Yes, that's what he did, but somehow ancient says it more precise to check here.
Ah,
He has to go to h2, rook g2 is bishop e3,
mm-hmm.
and to win an exchange on c square, because we have tempo to bring knight into the game.
Yeah, so we win a different rook, right? F7 is not hanging.
Yes, yes.
No, this should be completely winning question.
Well, there are some checks, not that obvious. Yeah.
King h6 and pin the knight.
G5. Black has good winning chances. Let's put it like this. Yeah. But Ilya played here.
Okay, rook takes.
Since winning, 3 exchange stacks. Queen f2, queen g5. Turned out pawn is hanging. And after queen f7, Luke took a pawn. Seems dangerous, but hard to prove, yeah?
So you say checks.
Because if check, knight f4 is now working because of queen b.
Yeah, knight f4 is queen b8 check, but can we do what we were doing? Like check and then check on g4.
You might do
He'll go to h2, right?
I go here. So Ilya tried to bring knight this way under protection.
With the queen on e5. Yes, makes a lot of sense.
But
and then rook f4 and queen b7, yeah?
Queen b7. Turned out that
white is in time.
Yeah? White is in time.
Yeah, a rare case where the number of pawns is not that important.
Yeah, but in queen endgame, I have to say that it happens. Then in queen endgame, one of the rules is it's more important how advanced are your pawns rather than how many of them you have. Yeah? Because okay, if you can queen a pawn, doesn't matter if your pawn has 5 extra ones. Yeah.
Yeah, Radi was asking what's if white doesn't sacrifice.
Probably he's in trouble because there is
like queen b7. Yeah, queen b7 was
queen b7. I
question.
think maybe queen e3, no? Or king h2, yeah.
King h2, whatever, right? We give h. How do we win? If we win.
Yeah, good question. Let's think here. What's happening? A good point, Tarak. A good point.
Queen e3 is the I mean, we have a perpetual, right?
Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same perpetual, yeah?
We have a perpetual, but the question is, like, is it... why we had to take on f4?
Good question, yeah, because if you can avoid it, you better avoid it, yeah?
Queen e3, wait a second, that might be nice. Queen e3 and then queen e2.
Oh, yeah, and
knight h3, yes, bravo. And if we go to h1, pardon me, queen e3, king h1? Not clear. Now I can't even think of any quiet move because also f7 is hanging.
Yeah. Okay, so worst case scenario he'll take on it for now, yeah?
Yeah, like if things are going really bad.
So. Or queen b8 is a threat.
Queen b8 is a threat, yes. So that's what I'm thinking. That could it be that it's just white's just...
strange, actually, good point. Yeah, because it's strange. Yeah, it's very strange.
Right. So we agree that technically there is 4 exchange sacrifices, but rook takes e3.
Yeah, maybe it was like just for a Guinness record book. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's have a look at some other games with multiple sacrifices.
So we have more examples. Yeah.
Yes, we have more examples. One main game maybe people saw. It's a game between Eric Lamy and Anton Smirnov from Vaikanze tournament, I think 2020. Extremely beautiful game. Erwin was white and Anton was black. Queen b3, Queen b6, and he took. Okay, it's quite a playable line. The point of it is bishop b1 will be good for black to get rid of this bishop, but there is this.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit childish trick.
Yeah, we all know from our first book on chess, yeah?
Yeah, somehow it's very, let's say Soviet or whatever culture, chess culture. You step into this very early. I don't know why. I mean,
yeah, maybe in all these books of I don't know, Averbach Belin and some others.
Something, yeah.
This was mentioned, yeah, but really spectacular, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice trick.
Yeah, sorry?
It's a very nice trick. I just remember that I've learned this trick and I had no idea about what else is going in this game. Like why white is, let's say, not better if he takes on b1, why black takes on b1. I mean, I had no idea whatsoever about the positional kind of ideas in this game, but I remembered the trick. Take on a7, go c7, win.
But also it's good, you know, for guys for everyone who just begins, he's a Hawaiian in chess, to see this beauty, yeah? Because we gave up rook and knight as early as move 10, and we are still winning because of promotion and the different ideas of promotions through two squares, yeah?
Yeah.
Also some tactical ideas like deflection just illustrates a lot of ideas. But of course, Anton Smirnov knew it. He played knight b1. Bishop this way. Seems like a bit simple play from white, but still not so easy for black to play. Of course, if white will have pawn on a3, he'll have comfortable advantage. Yeah? Sooner or later, he'll play 4, get center, not much, but pleasant. And one may think that with a pawn on b3, it's much more difficult, but in fact, okay, it has its point. Rook has a line, and still, if you play e4, get c5 square, maybe a5 square can be good for a knight. We have some potential. Knight a6, bishop e6. And now, one of the ideas. Of course, black would like to trade one pair of knights, but they cannot do it in a good second, because if you go here with an idea to take, then white will have may get back, next move play e4, and then return it. And if you play with this move, now if knight goes, he has this c5, and knights are more, there is no e4. But then takes, now he cannot take with a bishop because of this trick. And rook a4.
Rook a4.
b5, rook a6, and we win the pawn. So he has to take with a knight, and white has a pleasant advantage. Knight gets to c4, and we start playing g4, h4, advancing pawns. Some pleasant endgame, yeah? Black are quite, they don't have weaknesses, but they're quite passive, no counterplay. Just have to wait for quite a while to see what white is doing, yeah? And white has big potential to improve his position. So Anton Smirnov tried to play differently, bishop e7, knight a3. Again, if knight a b4, this idea to trade, then e4 now. And now this intermediate move. Knight before we take, and the knight, next move will be knight e5, we will win c6 pawn, And with a knight on c6, an extra pawn. White is better. It doesn't matter that his pawns are basically weak. Yeah? So he castled. Knight c4. And that's what Anton was saying before, to play c5.
C5, but then yeah, then it's.
Let's think what ideas White has now.
Yeah, there's also mentions of rook a6 idea. I thought I should exclude myself from this, from guessing the move here, because this is too familiar of an idea. I don't know where from. There are, yeah, I know where I know this idea from. Yeah, that's common, right? So takes on a6 is what's suggested, which looks very nice to me.
Indeed. It may be psychologically difficult to do it because it's an endgame. In middle game to second exchange, it's easier, yeah? We believe. But here, it's so, also it's very strong because we have a pawn, and also a6 pawn is weak, yeah? And rooks are actually doomed to passivity. There is no way rooks can become active.
Yeah, I think that this is maybe the most important fact, if we can say, right? Because like pawn on a6, yeah, it is weak, but is it that important? Yeah, the fact that black can't really open files for the rooks, because you can sometimes you can play some bishop a5 even, you know, block like in the Catalan. I think you've invented this bishop on a5 and pawn on b4. I think it was because of Boris Gelfand games.
I didn't invent, but I used it quite a few times.
You used it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, game with Christopher Lutz. Yeah.
And I think there was, wait a second, Kramnik Anand, was it the same?
2 times. I think even 2 games Kramnik Anand.
Maybe two games. Yeah.
Yeah, Kramnik Anand is really also masterpiece in this main line of Catalan. So rook f6, b4, Erwin played f6, e4, knight c7. It seems that black consolidated, but they are passive and white are simply improving position of its pieces. Bishop c3, knight b5, okay, rook c6. And maybe think what you will do now for white.
It's like zero counterplay, no?
Zero counterplay.
Why not rook a1 instead of bishop c3?
Maybe also possible.
Yeah, it's not like white's playing all the best moves, right?
Yes. I think there are more than one way for white to play strongly here, but
yeah, honestly, I have to, once again, since I'm watching the chat all the time, I have to praise Aradia's way of thought. I don't know if you would agree that he says like the bishop on d2 is flexible and rook belongs to a1 anyway. And at least to me, this sounds like a perfect, you know, sort of deduction. Like my piece is this goes there, but what comes first? Yeah, rook, we have one open file, a semi-open file, and rook goes to a1 for sure. The bishop, who knows, maybe we need it on e3, right?
Yeah, it's true. Aradia is right.
Yeah, so we are getting there, and it's white to move, right? Or yeah, it is white to move. E5, f4, what else? Are we talking what move to make for white, or
what idea? Yeah.
What's the big plan? Because you can play a lot.
What's the next step in the plan? Yeah, because normally, you know, it's also one of the questions. Yeah, you know, people who don't play chess ask you, okay, you can plan your game from first move to the last one. Yeah, it's never a case. Yeah, even if at the end of the game it seems so, when we think few moves ahead, one step ahead.
Yeah.
We achieve some stage. What next to do?
Right. That's why I remember as a kid reading these books. I don't think it's Alekhine books. It's a book on Alekhine by Kotov, right? And then, but it uses some comments of Alekhine. This famous endgame, Rook Bishop, when he won with Black, which has the phrase that Black's winning plan consists of 5 stages or something like this. And then he explains a half a page and so on. And then later on, Dvoretsky takes this endgame and says, okay, I'm not sure if Black is better at the starting position. It's just Alekhine was playing better than his opponent, right? That's why he won.
Yeah, he was improving his position slowly but surely, and his opponent failed to do so.
Yeah, so the idea is like, after the game, result-oriented sort of. You can say, okay, I had a plan starting from the opening. It's all one strategic line, so I've foreseen everything. But during the game, you make plans for, I don't know, 5 minutes. I mean, I want to get this, and then I'll see, something. Yeah. So E5 is one idea, I want to say.
Yes, E5 is a good idea. First, we have to secure D6 square.
That's what I want, yeah.
Okay, Black are pretty passive, knight D6, and then we think what we do next, yeah? Okay, there is more than one way to play. Erwin played F4.
Yeah.
Just right.
Get the king closer to somehow like
yes.
Yeah.
D4. Now it's a next idea. What to do?
I don't know. My brain would be paralyzed, Boris, let me confess. I would want to play H4 so much with white.
H4 is possible. It's possible.
No, I mean just not to get rid, not to worry about the king side. I'm not saying it's a good move. It's just that's what I'm saying. That
but
the way
also, we'll need king side open to create a second weakness. Who knows?
Okay, maybe. B5. No, B5 is kind of a little.
95.
No, I think what I would try to do is play king c4. Once again, it's the ideal setup. Yeah, then I'll be checking tactically if it works. King on c4 and knight from d3 to get it to d4, and then I'm sure I'm winning.
Absolutely.
Then I'm sure I'm winning. But
what is
then
the
again,
worst piece? No, actually, the question is what is the worst piece? And when we think knight on d3 is doing nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps us to secure all this pawn structure. But it has nothing to do, so same idea, he started with 91.
He starts with 91. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, 95. Okay. Because as a king, it will be AB will be possible with check. If rook b5, he intended to do the same, king c4, knight b4. So his opponent, see, knight c2, rook b. King s3, king a. And the question is how to proceed now.
No way you go rook e7. Yeah, rook e7. White's probably not worse, strangely.
Not worse.
Like I can probably build the fortress, but not better, right?
Yeah,
rook d6. If you want to, okay, if you know the idea that we have to sacrifice 2 exchanges, then it's rook d6.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, the most natural move first will be
rook b7. That's what I want to
rook c7. Because the rook c8 will take and play knight d4 and win one more pawn, yeah? But black has this trick.
Rook a6. And then the rook is trapped and also in the worst scenario.
No, actually, it's a very dangerous threat because as Erwin wrote, if knight d4, it seems that he is winning. But king d7, and it's a fortress.
Wow.
It will be such a disaster to miss it. Yeah,
So you're 2 pawns up.
2 pawns up for nothing.
This knight will be lost. H3,
Yes.
G4 doesn't help. You don't
And we
react.
ignore. We simply
You don't-
ignore.
Mhm.
We simply ignore. It's a fortress.
Yeah. Wow. This is tricky.
That
Very.
said,
Mhm.
C6 is still enough to win. Yeah, bishop d8 we get
Mhm. G6 and basically all the king side. Yeah.
likely. It's close to winning. Yeah, it's still okay. Rook a6 requires white is much better. Let's see, yeah?
Mhm.
But of course, it's difficult to resist rook d6. Yeah, when you see it. Yeah. But sorry, I interrupted you. You wanted to say something.
No. I'm fine. Yeah. Rook d6 takes, e pawn takes.
And now, knight d4. He brings attacks b5, or let's say, because actually if knight a3 is an idea to close a line, black may have some tricks, yeah, g5. So your h4 will be useful. And the e5, and suddenly rooks start jumping, yeah?
Yeah, like with 2 rooks, it's a little bit
Yeah, it's easy to get control. Knight
White is
d4,
probably winning.
yeah, but knight d4 is a better move, yeah? Because if you defend the pawn, I put knight to e5 and push pawns.
Mm-hmm.
So rook a2, Anton tried, but now knight d5. Rook h4.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely zero chance of.
Yeah, maybe knight d4 was even more direct. Knight e5, b5, yeah, just to brute force. But of course, we are humans. We want to avoid all obstacles. Knight d4. Maybe last chance for black will be to take and try to, but too many pawns. Bishop f6.
It's very hard to believe that this.
Yeah, bishop d8 and we break. Too many pawns, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Bishop c7, etc. So Anton played rook 8, king b2, g5, bishop b4.
Yeah. Cavalry is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Not an only way, but instructive one.
Yeah, d7 and so resigns, yes, or
Resigned, yeah, he resigned. Yeah. D7. No, I was really impressed. I remember I watched this game live and I was really impressed, yeah. Because it's kind of a very deep idea. You give up exchange after exchange, yeah, 2 exchanges, but you receive total domination. And in an endgame, one may be worried, yes, that okay, 2 exchange down in the endgame, not an attack, it's not an attack, but just positionally, yeah. That knights were so much better than rooks, yeah. Because I had 4 posts and rook were doomed, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's once again the key here is how bad the rooks are in this kind of structures, right? So that
yeah, if rooks will be active, yeah. So very often when we set second exchange, we have to not only look at what benefits we get with let's say destroy pawn structure or position of our light pieces, but how much we can restrict activity of opponent's rooks.
Yeah, because there are the opposite examples when you would say one side won an exchange. I can't kind of come up with an example out the top of my head, but I remember like this material 2 rooks against rook and knight. And let's say side with rook and knight has, I don't know, 3 extra pawns, everything. But then 2 rooks attack the king, like 2 black rooks on a second rank, white king on the first one. And then doesn't matter how many pawns you have, you I mean, it's always threats and your pieces are paralyzed and it's black who's winning, even though he's material down.
Yeah, so, and also maybe gets, at least gets pawns back on the way, yeah? You have to give up. You give up whatever you gained, yeah, not to get collapsed, yeah.
So that's, I mean, I think that there are such examples, but this is very nice. This is very nice again.
I think it's a real masterpiece. It's a real masterpiece.
Yeah, now that you've mentioned, I mean, how many games really that one side sacrificed 2 exchanges and it kind of lasted a little bit, because for some reason I'm thinking of this longest move. They claimed it to be the longest move in the history of World Championships. Petros and Spassky, right? This Queen H8 sacrifice. He was 2 exchanges down, I'm sure, in this moment.
Yes, yes, but it just a few moves, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this
yeah?
technically this doesn't count because it was a tactical operation, and I mean, you can find a lot of positions like that I'm 2 exchanges down, but maybe I'm checkmating in 3 by force.
Yeah.
And here, as well as your example against Peter Lekor, right? Those were like more of a positional long-term sacrifices. Okay, maybe not only positional dynamic, but long-term sacrifice when minor pieces prove to be not worse than rooks, and these are very rare.
Yes, I had also a game against Evgeny Alexeyev, and sacrifice an exchange and a rook within a couple of following moves, and I won a nice game. But as you said, yeah, okay, I gave up and quickly I started collecting material back, yeah. My opponent rather had to give it up not to get mated, yeah. But here it's like for long-term compensation.
Yeah, because also sometimes like when you get far advanced passed pawns, and maybe not even the extra passed pawns, but let's imagine once again in this position, black has, like, white doesn't have the h4 pawn, I don't know, black has his pawn on g4, he's lost anyway. Right, because white just simply promotes into queen. And in the middle game, then once again the value of rooks might be sort of going down, because when you're fighting the passed pawns, far advanced passed pawns, rooks are not very useful. So
yeah, also when I was a younger player, I was taught that okay, let's say knight and the passed pawn are equal to a rook. It's very hard to verify. Maybe modern engine, with modern engine, someone can make a real test. Is it so or not? But basically, roughly, I believe it's a good estimation. When you sacrifice an exchange to kind of have it in mind, yeah.
If you get the pawn, if you get the you know what? I would not claim that I'm kind of educated mathematician, but anyway, had a bit of mathematical background, which I'm kind of now coming back to a little bit. And what I want to say, we probably all remember from the childhood, like when you are taught the absolute value of pieces, like the scales, and the bishop is 3 little guys and the knight is 3 little guys, so that means knight equals bishop, and so on and so on. Yeah, and it obviously it worked very nice talking to small kids, but now how do you value such things? Because bishop against 3 pawns, I would claim that that's pretty much fair. Or knight against 3 pawns, pretty much fair. But then, so that means bishop is 3 pawns. But if you add 2 and against the rook, right? So I was told that rook is 5 pawns, bishop is 3, right? So I add 2 pawns. I can hardly recall a position where side sacrifices an exchange, gets 2 pawns, and he's worse. Better, very often. Worse, really rarely. if you're smart with exchange sacrifice, usually you need one pawn to be safe. Strangely, this is how
Yes,
it
it's true, but you know, all this, I think chess is so rich to make this assessment, yeah, because
yeah, absolutely.
it depends on circumstance. Let's say it depends on what are the pawns that you have, which side has initiative, which king safe.
It's very hard to
also,
formalize. Yeah, absolutely.
But also, you know, we were all taught, I remember probably you as well, the rook is more or less 5 pawns, and queen is between 8 and 9, yeah?
Something, yes.
And now it's modern engines says that queen in most position is no more than 2 rooks. It's one of the, I think, main discoveries of this engines of last years. One is that, you know, it's good to advance side pawn. Let's say h4, h5, h6, like Magnus does most of his games. And also that too often there is a position you analyze, and there are 2 rooks for a queen. And my initial thought will be that white might be close, white is better. It's a question if he'll convert or not. But very rare, extremely rare, that engine claims that 2 rooks is the stronger side. It's really one of the biggest revelation I had during last years.
Yeah, not only 2 rooks, but honestly, I'm a big fan of sacrificing, sacrificing the queen, exchanging the queen for kind of unequal material, like 3 minor pieces, rook, bishop, pawn, whatever. I was and probably still am a big fan. And I was checking, even like I had quite a few games like this, yeah. And I was checking these games, and even though I won relatively easy the game against my opponent, sometime a grandmaster, the beating an engine, it's impossible. Like, doesn't matter. Like, you would think, okay, this should be automatically winning. No, the engine is a beast playing with the queen against the pieces. That's like all this dynamic.
Engine always takes queen. And I just wonder if it's like reality, or it's just, you know, work of the guys who make a program. They put a higher value, and by
on the queen, yeah,
on the queen, and by playing strong, stronger than us, the claim is that they can never prove otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever engine would say, it will be very tough for us to prove otherwise. But Evgeny, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe this can be a topic for our next masterclass. You know, not exchange sacrifice, but queen against unbalanced material.
Okay. Speaking of a next masterclass, we have one more. So this is a September masterclass, guys. Do not forget.
Yes.
And we have upcoming October masterclass, which is the same month, closer towards the end of the month than date.
Last week of the month, more or less.
Yes, and I don't know how, let's say, how disrespectful would it be, but I may bring up one of the games. I have some, as I said, I mean, I had quite a few interesting. Well, I can just tell you, and obviously you have a lot of your games, I believe.
Okay, but I will be happy to see your game and we analyze it together. And I'll have because I'm showing games and you are giving, you know, a look from the side. We can do otherwise. You'll show your game and I'll say my say from the side.
Yeah, okay. I mean, this is.
I'll prepare 1-2 games. We'll prepare 1-2 games, and we'll show them. At the end of this month.
What was the book you probably remember? Once again the Soviet book on this kind of uneven.
It was his
Нетождественный exchange, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think one have to be professional mathematician to know this work, how this works.
Yeah, but I don't really remember. So the point was
from math,
So the point was that the author was looking at all those weird, as we would call, material balances, if you like two rooks against three minor pieces, right? And then a queen against three minor pieces. And yeah, it was very, very interesting. I remember being like around candidate master level, maybe, yeah, a bit lower than. It was so fascinating.
Or queen and rook against
okay.
4 pieces.
Huh? Queen and rook against 4 minor pieces.
4 minor pieces and some pawns, maybe. No?
Yeah, there might be such examples. Boris, 2 exchange sacrifices. I've recalled all of a sudden. We probably don't have time, right? Benoni, I mean, you'll get what I'm talking about. But because you were playing Benoni with G3 as white. And there is this line when they go knight e4 and then take on f4 for black.
If you remember exact game, I can find instantly and we can quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check because I will not be able. It's much easier for me to mention the position. Yeah, but let me see because I recently looked at.
Maybe you will share. I stop sharing. You will find.
I'll find it difficult. Yeah, but let me see. I mean, it's been so long time ago. Yeah, let me try to. Okay, I'll find it now, and then when I find the game exactly, I'll share the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of other stuff. It has to be 94. Strangely, I found some analysis from like 2018, which are probably not good anymore. But you know.
Or maybe they're perfect. Maybe they're better than the modern ones. Yeah.
Dean Bakro is the game. Yeah, Dean Bakro is the game. I mean, it's crazy game in a way, but it ends up being with a lot of. Yeah, actually, let me try to share this. Wait, how do I do it? Okay, I'll have
share screen.
Yeah. Just a second. So what we do is wait.
Put share screen and
yeah, that's a big green button, and then I'm sharing advanced portion of a screen. Yes, share, and then we go here, and then I remember I have to move this one a little bit.
No, we see it excellent. At least I do.
Okay. If this works, yeah. So I will not. I mean, it's a lot of some strange lines here. Okay, you guys will have to believe that this position exists, right? Takes. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I've played it with some like rook b4 and taking on b2, strangely enough.
Yeah, or maybe it could be after a6, a4.
Yeah, a6, a4 is the other one, but I played against Alexander Moisenko. I think I've played with rook b4, I think something like a3, rook b2. Okay, my point was that at some point I played rook b6, knight b6, a b6. And then later on the idea was refuted, but anyway. Okay, so this is sort of probably still sound. At least I do not know of, complete refutation for black. So for white, sorry. And the most...
I think there were some games. Black had to play very precise, yeah. I think even Sharich lost the game.
E4, knight d7. There are, once again, there are other options and so on. Wait, it's not Dean Bakro, no. Queen, what was the line? Once again, I found it and then no. Rook e1 is the move, not queen f3, but rook e1. So basically, if we go a little bit back, right? So what's going on? Asymmetrical structure. Black gets a pawn for an exchange. A little bit compromised white structure on the king side. So once again, if you slow play it, I think most of the time black is fine. Once again, I mean, okay, I'm a big fan of Benoni, I have to confess, right? I mean, so when it works, yeah, I know by now, I know it's not a very good opening strategically, but when it works, it's an interesting opening. So by playing e4, I would say white takes a lot of strategic risk, but he wants to just smash. So e4, e5, breakthrough, win. And then we are going about knight d7, which I think has an alternative possibly. And I think, yeah, this is the line. So e4, rook e1, rook e1. Then doesn't matter what happens, he plays e5, I guess. So it goes this, e5, bishop f4. Black is going after some, I don't know, some squares. White is doing what he does, pushes the pawn forward. Knight e5, rook e4. Once again, I didn't check it with the engine, so I don't know if it's all correct. It looked correct back in like 2018, 2017 when I was checking it. Rook e4, queen f6, e7. And somehow, yeah, like I tried doing something else, but this looks very kind of, maybe if not forced, but very logical. So bishop g4, queen a4, bishop d2. And that was played, in fact, Dean Bakro.
Yeah, Dean Bakro, yeah. Now I...
Rook b7, c4. And who knows what is this? See, seriously. Because they ended up agreeing a draw in some position like that. Rook b8, he threatens, I don't know, a checkmate there, and then queen d8 wants to trade the queens. And some very, very long line with a perpetual, so no, not a perpetual, but the repetition at the end.
Queen f6, queen d8, yeah?
Yeah, queen f6, queen d8. And once again, so it's sort of a two double exchange sacrifice. Okay, first is real, the other one I'm not sure how real it is. Like, has he sacrificed an exchange? And in a way, you can also say this is positional, because yes, white king is in danger, but it's not checkmated. And white is speculating that if he trade the queens, you know, it's still two rooks against two minor pieces, like with a lot of open files, with a lot of weaknesses and so on, right? But whenever the queens are on the board, black king is much safer, and at the very least, black will get the perpetual, if not something more serious than that.
Yeah, even so, the king is also, you know.
Yeah, the king is not ideal, and I suspect if you give a check on f8, it's king g5. No,
Yeah.
I mean, why doesn't he give a check on f8, for instance? Why they agreed like this? This is
Yeah, might be okay. King g5, queen d8, he will take and play something like.
And yeah, like the bishop on f4 will not be hanging. Okay,
yes.
Fair point.
Extra point, extra tempo.
Yeah, the bishop on f4 will not be hanging, maybe some, you know, f5, c3, so on. Anyway, that's just for illustration and filling a bit of time, but seriously, those positions, once again, if you rewind it back, those positions are interesting. I understand nowadays they mostly don't play it. They switch to some like knight h5 move. And somehow this position is not very popular anyway. But yeah, but this knight e4.
But it's really critical, yeah, because if you play also it with white, you have to know what you are doing. Because one more or less inaccurate move, and black will have really easy to play, yeah, this is compensation.
Big stakes, yeah. Okay, this is pretty much forced. And like, yeah, like examples of black doing well is like if white goes knight c4, and then knight a6, b6 is also an option. Yeah, like knight a6. I think it's Peter Leko played it. Knight b4, and you're getting ready for this breakthrough.
Yeah. Bishop a6, etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one can also become vulnerable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that once again, didn't check it that much. I think this actually does promise white some advantage, but once again very
It's extremely sharp.
It's extremely sharp position. If you don't know how to handle it with white, you might also not find all the right moves.
Good way to play for black if they want to have a complicated game where all three results are possible.
Yeah, this is it. All right, so sorry for intervention, but
no, thank you, and thank you for all our viewers. I hope it was useful and enjoyable, and see you again at the end of the month.
Yeah, see you next time, guys. And let me roughly estimate. I think if Boris can make it, I would ask for like 25th October, something we'll discuss. But yeah, I'm going to the States at the end of October. So hopefully we
Yeah,
can make
we'll
it
have to
before
find a date. Yeah, more or less
Yeah.
25th is a reasonable one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks everybody, and bye-bye. See you next time.
Thanks and bye-bye.